Yo, what's going on out there, people? Me? Well, today I'm in the great state of Pennsylvania. Just got done going down one of my favorite roads, actually, in the whole country here. Nice little spot, but that ain't the point of what I'm trying to get at here. I've come to the conclusion that America is screwed. And I mean, usually I've got something fairly positive to say, but this ain't. That ain't today. I don't know. I was in a happy-go-lucky mood, and then I don't know. You get a lot of time to think in this job, and I was thinking about something I saw on Facebook here a little while back, and it was, what was it? And how do I explain it? Basically, the post was that this family farm that had been running for generations, as most farms in the United States have been. It was a picture of when they sold the last cow on the farm, and like I think it was the two brothers or cousins, something to that effect. They were just bawling and like hugging, holding each other, like just bawling their eyes out. And I mean, I can understand that a little bit, but I've never felt anything like that before, so it's kind of just hearsay. But that also got me thinking along the lines of why does stuff like that happen? Because it wasn't always like that. It'd been the family for generations, like a lot of family farms, and there's still farms like that today that are just family owned. They've been in the family since whenever, like 1900 or whatever. There's all kinds of that stuff, especially where I live in Wisconsin. It's every, you look north, south, east, and west, and you can see a silo somewhere. That's the kind of place that I'm from. And I don't want to come off too harsh, but people are about to get their feelings hurt in this one. That's what's about to happen. And if you don't want that, then you might as well just not watch it, I guess. I don't know. But my conclusion is that the whole cause of the problem is greed. Straight up pure American greed. And you can call that capitalism or whatever you want to call it, but it's absolutely ridiculous. It's so bad because you think about that farm in particular that I was just talking about there, why that happened. Let me tell you why that happened. It's because every single person that goes to a store and they're looking for some sort of a dairy product, they're looking for milk, they're looking for cheese, they're looking for sour cream, whatever the hell they're looking for, and they're looking for the cheapest stuff on the rack. That's what they're looking for. And the places that are buying it, places like Walmart and other large grocers, they all know that, and they are running bottom of the barrel prices for this stuff. So who do you think is getting, how do you think they're actually making a profit off of this? These large grocers like that. How do you think that's happening? Do you think they're taking the hit? I reckon not. I reckon they are buying their stuff from a person at a cut cost, and then that person bought it from a farm at a extremely low rate, as low as possible. And we can see this in the trucking industry as well. And this is why driver wages are in the toilet. Everyone wants to think that it's super simple. all you gotta do is just raise the rates. And, you know, it seems like the transportation industry is one of those industries where they're like, everyone is trying to get it as cheap as possible. You see this with online shipping and all that stuff. Free shipping. It's like $15 to ship something overnight from freaking China. I don't understand how that works, but it does, and somehow, like, it just happens magically. I mean, I have a rough concept in my head about how that works, but I have no idea how the hell they make that happen. But, I mean, we're getting off topic here. That ain't the point of the video here. So, now where was I? Come on now. So, everyone is trying to get the cheapest thing that they possibly can, and they are trying to make the most money they can at their job. Now, those two things do not go hand in hand. And I mean, this kind of, you know, going back to the transportation industries, we're all out here trying to make good money. We're not out here to fart around. And at an owner-operator level, all they care about is the rate per mile. And I mean, you know, you're caring about how far it goes, how much you're making per day, but at the basic level, what it seems like is you care about the rate per mile. And if it's not up to, you know, the rate that you would haul that for, you wouldn't haul it. Obviously, that's not how you run a business. You got to make a certain amount of money every day and cover your costs and pay yourself off on the side there. And they say that it was better back in the day. And I mean, I ought to ask my grandpa about this stuff because he was in the game a long time ago, and you know, maybe I should consult him about if things were actually better. You know, maybe it's just all hearsay, and they were really just doing like 4,000 miles a week and still getting the same pay that we are, but now we can't do that anymore, so we don't make anything. I don't know. But it comes down to stuff like that that is ruining America as we know it. And oh man, people. Oh, I don't want to get too riled up here, but you can see this on the right mostly, is that they will defend capitalism to the end of the earth. And to me, that doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, I understand that we have a great country here. I understand that if you played your cards right in life, you can potentially, you know, end up doing pretty well. You can, like, that's possible here. It's not so possible in other places. And that's a great thing about America, is that you can, you know, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And, like, it's a wonderful thing. But at the same time, they defend it to the end of the earth. And let me just tell y'all straight up, you're not going to be rich. You don't need to hold up capitalism because you think, oh, one day, like, I'm going to be rich, and then, you know, what's going to happen then? Like, oh, we're going to have to pay so much in taxes, and they'd, like, defend this, like, stupid notion of, like, just businesses making, or not businesses, but, you know, the elite corporate individuals of companies. They defend that to the end of the earth, and it does not make any sense to me, because we're talking about blue collar people. you are not going to climb that ladder to the top. That is not how it works anymore. I don't even know if it worked like that ever. You just had to know someone. And I mean, nowadays it's like you got to have a college degree and you got to know someone. and that's how you would make it. Now, I'm not going to just sit up here and rip on the right or whatever, but that's where a lot of that bullspit comes from. And I mean, it's not any better on the left, let's be honest here. I'm just making general points about what I've seen out there, and it seems like most people that are left-leaning, actually care about their fellow man. They don't just care about just themselves. And I mean, I know that capitalism is inherently an individual pursuit. That's the word I'm looking for. The whole thing about America is that you want to be doing better than your neighbor or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. You want to make more money than that guy. You want to have nicer stuff than that guy. And you want to be happier than that guy or whatever. But it just, like, nothing about that works ever. Because people are just going in debt super hard, and they can't afford it. Like, the whole of America is propped up on debt. And I mean, we saw, I don't remember this terribly well, and it's probably because I believe I was in middle school? Oh yeah, no, I was definitely in middle school. Something like that. When 2008 happened. And I mean, I've since watched like documentaries and, how did it happen type of stuff. But we saw that in 2008 where the housing bubble burst and nothing happened. Like people were making money hand over fist, and then bad stuff happened. People lost jobs, people lost houses, and people died more than likely. And nothing happened. No one went to jail. Nothing got fixed. People got, high up corporate individuals got bonuses for, their company completely failing, which doesn't make any sense. But I mean, that's essentially how it happened, from my understanding. And nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. You ride around, I mean, I see a lot of the country, and a lot of the advertisements that you see are like, lease this car, do you need this kind of insurance or whatever, do you, and you see like the 0% down house stuff, you see everything that happened in 2008 is still here, and none of it is going to get any better. And I don't think and this is another thing that the right likes to blame it on, is like they love to blame it on like immigrants and poor people all the time. It's absolutely absurd. I don't understand why that's a thing, because the people really to blame are corporate people. And we're not talking about like just all white collar people in general. We're talking about these, in quotations, top of the food chain individuals. We're talking about the people who are apparently running stuff, and they're making so much money. Like, it's just absolutely absurd. We all think that like the real cause of why everything is expensive and why we're not making any money, we think that that's because like like people will accept that wage because they are poor or they're not from this country or whatever, and that might hold some truth, but at the same time, the people at the upper level of a business are running away with all the money. Now, we don't want to get too liberal over here, okay? Because like, that's not what we're trying to do. Basically, what I'm saying is they sort of deserve a lot of money because they are calling the shots in a business. They did build a business from the ground up, or they're still running a business that was handed down to them. I mean, that cannot be an easy thing. There's a lot of moving parts in a business. But how much money do you need? How much money do you need? Oh my God. Like what is it? Yeah, you go on YouTube and you check out like richest people in the world and like richest like items in the world, or richest, most expensive items in the world, and it's like yachts and cars and houses, and they're like multi-million-dollar stuff, and it's like, who the hell is affording this? Like, I don't know anyone that can afford that. Are you kidding me? Like, how much money would you have to make a year to afford this stuff? So basically what I'm saying is that you can actually see that there is an issue in like the economics of how like a business it works. Like they're not passing down any of that money, and it's a massive issue because people need jobs to survive, but oh man. I'm trying to explain myself the best I can here, but it is getting a little difficult. They give you enough to live on, but they don't give you enough to get ahead. They'll keep that for themselves and get ahead just on their own. And there is nothing you can do about it. I don't know. I think it's all shot. I think it's all going down the tubes. And y'all better keep your eyes peeled because we're going to see some very interesting things. Either what's going to happen is we're going to have another 2008 situation and shit's going to fall apart completely, and it's just going to be complete chaos or whatever, or it's going to be that the corporate overlords let us live and we go on forever with this massive gap between the rich and the poor, and we're just, everyone's screwed forever. I don't know. That's just what I see. What else do I want to add to this? I don't know. It's just a goddamn shame. That's all I gotta say. I mean, people are working their lives away for companies, and they won't even pay them a decent wage, and they won't support other businesses in a decent way. I don't know. That's all I got to say, I think. We're screwed. Yep. That's how I'm gonna wrap it up. So yeah, I don't know. If you got anything to say about it, leave it in the comments or whatever. Oh yeah. But yeah, I guess I might as well enjoy the rest of my day here. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.